Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I'm your host, Charles. Along with me, as always, my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, orator, and podcast associate, Jacob Gloth. How you doing today, Jacob?
I am swell, Charles. Excited. Another episode of the podcast, episode 266. We are at now.
6.
Yeah, it's exciting day. And we're back with the show where we pitch new TV show pilots, new characters, new story arcs, new exciting plots. Sometimes it's sci-fi, sometimes it's fantasy.
Plots and settings.
Sometimes it's a bit of a detective story, which is what we've got this
Ooh,
week. Because you gave
a detective story
last week a title, which was
Crime Wave.
Crime Wave. Now, if you listened to the end of the last episode, you heard me complaining about this title and talking about how it has to be like a detective show in like some small town or whatever. And then after we finished, right as we were finishing up, you mentioned, you said it was a show about the villains in Baywatch. After the podcast ended, I joked that this show Crime Wave would be like a detective show about like a current Pamela Anderson plays like a detective in like a small beach town. It's like sort of like a joking successor show to Baywatch.
Yeah.
Mainly based off the fact she just did that Naked Gun movie with Liam Neeson. And that is exactly what I did. So now we have a Naked Gun / top secret / airplane style detective comedy set in a beach town with Pamela Anderson as the lead detective. Now she's not playing Pamela Anderson. She's playing Detective Valentina Vines, who's this incredibly dry, serious detective, very afraid of water, constantly acts like she's hideous, but she's Pamela Anderson.
She's a beautiful older lady.
Big city cop who went to a small town after a reason that changes every time she brings it up. Yet all of them are true. So like every time she'd be like, oh, I was on a big case and, I was going after this murderer. And then all of a sudden, City Hall came down hard because the murderer turns out to be the governor's brother. And, I had to switch departments. And then next time it's like, I got an HR complaint because I wouldn't stop eating my lunch in the boss's office. I kept using the boss's toilet over and over again. He got really pissed off, and he moved me here because it bothered
me here. Too many unpaid parking tickets. This is my punishment.
And she's constantly doing...
I had an illicit affair with a prison warden who accidentally, during our vigorous lovemaking session, released all of the prisoners from jail and caused a massive riot.
Yeah, every time it's just a different reason, and they're all ridiculous, and they're all somehow true, as we find out. Also, she's constantly doing one of my favorite bits from Airplane is the air traffic control guy. It's constantly like, I picked a bad day to quit smoking. I picked a bad day to quit hard drugs. I picked a bad day to stop doing cocaine. She's constantly doing that, except it's just smoking every time. Like every day is a bad day to quit smoking, but she never stops smoking. So that's just the reoccurring joke that every day she gets up, quits smoking, but doesn't actually make it through the day. So that's Detective Valentina Vines.
Is it always cigarettes?
It could be. It could be other things.
I think it'd be funny if she just like every time she's like, bad day to stop smoking, and then she pulls out like an old wizard's pipe, or she pulls out a cigar, or she like gets a hookah out of her car. Yeah. It's always tobacco, but it's always just some like various ridiculous means of smoking tobacco.
Yeah.
Pulls out a bong, lights up. It's just tobacco. It's a water pipe, dummy.
Hell yeah. Next character I have is Reginald Redgington. Reginald Redgington is a shy, performative English bookstore owner in the beach town. When I say performative, I mean like there are certain people that like they sound and they see the things that they are doing may seem genuine, like genuinely good. Like, oh, I'm helping out at a dog shelter, or I'm doing that stuff. That's all good stuff. But he's doing it in like a performative way. He doesn't actually care about doing good stuff. He cares about like people thinking that he's like this super sweet, nice person. So he's always helping out at like dog shelters or an orphanage or something. But he's only doing it so people see that he's doing it, and he'll talk about it all the time. Like, it's not like, it's not, something he does quietly. It's like at his bookstore, he's like, oh yeah, did you know I work at a dog shelter? Oh, you don't? Oh, that's interesting. Do you not care about dogs? That's weird. Huh. That kind of guy. And he's played by none other than Hugh Grant, who I think...
Hugh Grant's a perfect choice for that.
I want this to be like... character. I think it's Notting Hill, where he plays the bookstore owner. It's a romantic comedy with him and Julia Roberts. I want this to be like the parody version of that. Like, he's this handsome English guy that owns a bookstore, but instead of being this like really charming, charismatic guy,
affable, lovable guy,
he's like pretending to be that guy, but he's not really meeting it. But he's very sensitive, big feminist, but feminist in a way that like he just wants everybody to know that he's a feminist, but he's probably not actually. He's also secretly incredibly wealthy.
Yeah, the feminist literature section of his book is up front so everyone can see it, but it's also the smallest section of the book. Bookstore.
And it's all... That'd be funny if it was all books written by men. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
They're all like stereotypical. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like Jeff Manley. Like, it's all like big letters. Like, the title of the man's name is bigger than the title of the book.
Of the book. How to Think Like a Woman, written by...
Dr. Richard Dick.
I don't know.
So
there you go.
It's just great stuff from Reginald Redgington. Then we have Sarge. Sarge is the drunk drill sergeant-like police commissioner who is in charge of the small police department at this beach town. Except, Charlie, unlike what you'd expect a small beach town to have, this police department has a ridiculous arrangement of weaponry. Like, their armory is absolutely filled like it's like the U.S. military. They have like a tank and everything in the parking lot. Like, it's ridiculous the kind of firepower that this small town police department has. Just absolutely insane stuff. And each episode they're gonna be getting new stuff. Like, the office is just covered in grenades and like bandoliers and machine guns and all this crap stuff that like you obviously don't need to catch like some dude who's selling copyrighted like t-shirts or stolen DVDs in some like time, or like the kid that's selling like a couple grams of weed or something. Like, it's nothing too serious going on in this beach town. But that is Sarge. Next we have Doughboy. Doughboy is the only real like street cop that we're gonna have. So like there's like detectives and there's like beat cops, and Doughboy is like he's the most relevant beat cop that we'll have. He's very young, always at the crime scene first with a donut ready to give to donut and a cigarette that he's ready to give to Detective Valentina Vines, and she'll always refuse the cigarette and be like, I quit smoking today. And then later she'll like reach for it, or he'll have like that's when he can hand her the pipe or the whatever it is. The ridiculous thing. Yeah. Doughboy is also super country with very strange country metaphors for everything. I've got some written in the pilot episode, but everything he relates to like farming or like I don't know, some really weird country small town thing that almost nobody will ever get besides him, or it's just like none of it really, the connection almost doesn't make any sense. It's always like really big stretch. Big stretch. Then we have long walk for a short drink of water. Yeah. Okay. Turns out the water is piss. Then we have little Ricky T, who's the surf shop owner and drug dealer, also a nuclear physicist, which is relevant for an episode where there's a nuclear bomb in the town. Again, this is a Naked Gun style comedy, so. It's a ridiculous, fun, over the top comedy. Yeah. A lot of crazy stuff. Which I'm a big fan of. Then we have this is a first name, last name, Rexter. Now Rexter is played by the guy that plays Dexter. I think it's what was his name? Like Michael something. Michael C. Hall. Yeah. So it's just Dexter, Michael, but I just changed it to Rexter. He's the crime scene analyst who's very clearly a serial killer. So he's just playing like a parody version of. He's just Dexter. Doing Dexter. Yeah. And then we have Susie Silk, who's the a dive bar owner who always says something that solves the case. So she's like the super stereotypical thing where it's like the detectives, thinking over the case of the bar, can't crack it. And then somebody just makes a offhand comment about something unrelated, but it somehow connects to the case. She's like, oh, I'm on it. Except when Susie Silk says something, it's like so ridiculously connected to the case. Like, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like, for example...
Man, this...
Oh, what are you saying?
Sorry, you go.
No, you go. Your example first. Go.
Oh, just like Susie Silk just being like, this case really reminds me of a few years ago when that guy hit that other guy with his car and then ran away. The picture of that guy, he's on the wall right there. That guy right there.
Yeah,
and, driving that same model of car that you guys are talking about.
And
isn't that a funny coinky dink?
That'd be even better if Valentina Vines like just kind of ignores like the photo and all the obvious evidence around her. She's like, yeah, I mean, you're right. Okay, a past incident. Maybe we should look in the database and see if there's anything. And they'll go back to the police station, find the exact same incident, and she'll think that she came up with it herself when Susie Silk is clearly solving all these cases just at the bar.
Yeah, and Susie Silk is in she's like the photo they go back, and it's the exact same photo except it's zoomed out a little bit, and Susie Silk is in the photo as well, and she's doing a big smiley thumbs up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just ridiculous things like that, where she just always has the answer to the case all the time. Now, those are the main principal characters that we're gonna be having in the show. But we'll get into the first episode that I have here. So the show is gonna open up with a man on a surfboard who's taking a big wave. When all of a sudden, he's on the waiting for the wave in the water. It's a little stormy kind of day outside. Probably not the best day to be surfing. He's the only guy out there. It's also dark. So he's getting a little bit like night surfing in. On the water, big waves coming, he paddles out, gets on the wave, starts riding it, all excited, but his board, Charlie, it's slippery. All of a sudden, he slips in front of his own board, and we hear a big crunch and blood squirt up all over the camera, and we cut to Detective Valentina Vines. Goes under the police line, the police tape, as Doughboy talks to her about a surfer who looks like this is what I wrote down. It looks like a deer that got spit out by a 6-liter combine in a cornfield. And she looks at the body and says, it's the third one this week and the 30th this summer. And we pan over the body and it says, I'm assuming, I think that most of the bodies in this show, because it's a comedy, are like going to be very clearly just like a fake mannequin or like some sort of very obviously not a real body that like it's not like we're even trying to mimic like a no real gore. Yeah, it's like a puppet or something. It's just, but I mean, it's like there is real blood, or not real blood and gore, but there's like fake blood and gore. Like it doesn't look so terrible. Like if you and I tried to make this right now, but like it looks like maybe how they would have done it in the 60s or something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It doesn't look great.
I do think it'd be funny if they're like, that's the third one this week, and then we pan over and there are 2 other crime scenes that you can see, and there's tape and there's cops around them with flashlights being like, this is crazy.
Yeah, and she'll turn back, the 5th one this week.
Dun, dun, damn. And then the 30th this summer, and then
we'll hear another guy.
The guy with the crime scene tape. You see the guy with the crime scene tape, and he's like, I need to do a Costco run. We're really running through this shit very fast.
Running out of body bags
I need to go.
And then we'll see like a person die in the background too. And now, Charlie, they're all dying the same way. They're all slipping on their surfboards and getting decapitated by their own surfboard. So they'll fall in front of it. The front of the surfboard is so sharp that it just cuts through their head. Very, very gruesome and strange way to go.
Yeah.
And so she,
pretty bad.
Valentina,
I wouldn't want to go that way.
Goes into the guy's pockets. Maybe she pulls out like a string of like cloth, like he's a magician, where it's just like endlessly pulling out stuff. And then eventually at the end of it, she gets to his wallet and she pulls out his ID and she sees he's from out of state. And she looks at Doughboy and scoffs, and Doughboy complains about all the tourists and transplants coming into the town. And before they can say any more, Sarge immediately rules it as an accident. He's like, they're all, these kids going out here surfing, don't know what they're doing, slipping, decapitating themselves, Back in my day, we would have never done this. We would have been out there, we would have taken that surfboard right to the neck and we would have kept on surfing.
kept on surfing without your head. That's how we did it back in my day. These kids, these pansies nowadays, think they need to have their spines attached to their skulls? More liberal nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what happens when you give everyone a participation trophy, all right?
Yeah.
We didn't have any of those in my day.
And much to Rexter's dismay, because he was hoping that it would be a serial killer, so he's upset that Sarge rolled it as a suicide. And so, back at a little Susie's dive bar, Valentina is, disappointed by the repeat deaths, and, they're not going to investigate it any further because they're all just, they're not suicides, but they're all crazy accidents. And she doesn't, there's nothing to do. And while she's there, she meets Reginald Regington, who's just moved into town. And he's talking with a local surfing instructor named Brad. And he's like signing up for lessons. And that's when he catches Valentina's eyes and buys her a drink. And they start chatting up for a little bit. He's talking about how great he is in the dog shelter. And he's like asking if she works at a dog shelter. She's like, no. And he's like, I'm just trying to give back. I'm just trying to help out the world. I just care a whole lot. And maybe as he says that, like a dog, and he's talking about like how much he loves animals, and a dog will like come into the bar and immediately like bite him and like bite off his finger. He's like, fuck, and he like punches the dog in the face.
It's a love tap. I love him. I don't think it should bite his finger off. It should be something like really innocuous, like it pisses on his seat, right? It pisses on the stool. And then he's like, what the hell? Ka-chow, like karate chops
the dog, yeah. He needs to hit the dog. It has to be over the top. And obviously, nobody's going to react to this. Everyone's like it has to, because the whole show is going to be like, the Naked Gun or Airplane, where like crazy stuff happens all the time, but everyone just plays it off like it's normal.
Maybe, and maybe this is just because I've been playing Red Dead 2, but what if he gets into like a cowboy-style bar brawl with the dog?
Yeah.
And dog ends up winning and throwing him out the sheet glass window.
Yeah.
The front. Because imagining Hugh Grant getting thrown out of a bar through a window by a dog, and then like standing up, dusting himself off, and like turning to Vine and being like, "So do you want to get dinner after this, or what's going on?"
Yeah.
Is just perfect.
That would be great. And it would happen like. It'd have to happen like she goes to the bathroom and then they have the fight, and he's like she'll get back from the bathroom and he's like completely bloodied and messed up, and the dog's like peeing on him as he's like asking her out, claiming
he's got a big shard of glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
he
stuck
like
in his
yanks
forehead,
it out, and
just...
she like sort of like brushes his hair out of the glass out of his hair. Just doesn't even notice or doesn't even address the fact that he's clearly just got his ass beaten. Just leave him all messed up.
Oh, he takes a shard of glass out of his head, right? Blood shoots out in a very comedic, like, single stream, and it lands in his beer glass, and so he just has to hold his empty beer glass, steady as it fills with blood throughout the conversation.
Yeah.
And as she walks away, he forgets, takes a sip, spits it back out.
Yeah, but she'll walk away because, Charlie, she's going to get a phone call, which is going to interrupt her. And it's Doughboy calling about another death. And she'll go back out, and another tourist is dead from the same situation, another surfboard decapitation. Rex and Valentina are now convinced that there's a deeper cause, because, there's been like 40 people that have died from this at this point. So it's probably not just everybody sucks at surfing, but Sarge is clearly thinking that it's just a bunch of idiot tourists who, got participation trophies or something when they were younger. And so Rex and Valentina, they decide to go to the surf shop where all the boards are made. Because as Valentina's going through, she'll notice that every board has the same exact. And it's not small. It's this massive logo that's on the bottom of the board that's like, Bill's Surf Shop, like so clearly there, and that somehow nobody has made this connection. They're all the surfboards are the same color. They all look exactly the same. Sometimes it is the exact same surfboard that they're using that has, it's killed the next guy. And they go to this surf shop where all the boards come from, and they find this really shady rental place with high fees, and really cheap, sharp boards, which are purportedly better, but, obviously dangerous. And
extra sharp and covered in Vaseline.
Yeah, well, we'll get onto that in a second. Because they get to the shop, and she's like, I mean, the people are coming out and they're buying these boards. It's very clear that they're dangerous. Like, it's not like this guy is, he's not killing them. They're buying these boards themselves and slipping. And so and she's there, like, going through, trying out the boards. Doughboy probably cuts himself on, like, every single surfboard somehow. And Rex is, like, testing them out as a weapon, going through, like, just and constantly trying to kill the guy that owns the surf shop in, like, comedic, like, mousetrap ways, like, dropping a bucket on his head or something, or trying to, like, strangle him or something. Like, yeah, just little things, like, throughout the time, but constantly messing up and missing. Because at that time, Rex thinks that the surfboard owner is the killer.
Is the killer, yeah.
So, at the shop, though, there is Reginald, again, who's getting a board, and he invites Valentina to dinner. And so the pair go to dinner, and they're having a nice time, and they go back to the surfboard shop at night after dinner. Not Reginald, just Valentina and Rex. And at the surfboard shop at night, they find it's an illegal gambling den. And while there's, it's clearly not a good place, there's definitely no murder going on there. And Valentina's disappointed, but she sees there's signs for free surfboard lessons all throughout the place, and free board waxings all throughout the place. And it's all with a picture of Brad. And at the dinner that Valentina and Reginald have, it'll be stupid obvious that Brad, the surfboard owner, is the murderer, because Reginald's constantly going to be like, yeah, I'm getting lessons with Brad. He wants to go at night. He got me this new board. It says it's really sharp, and it seems a little dangerous, but he said, that's what you want to cut up the waves, and he's gonna wax it for me personally. The wax he's using kind of looks like soap, so it's kind of weird. But anyway, it's nice, and he's kind of a weird guy. He keeps talking about how much he hates tourists and people coming into the city and transplants, but I mean, overall, he's somewhat nice. It's plainly obvious during the dinner to the audience that this guy's the murderer.
Yeah. He also keeps measuring the length and width of my neck and head. It's very weird. Never had a surf instructor do that before, but he says it's, about getting the best aerodynamicism for the board, so he has to make sure that the width of the board matches the width of my neck, is what he said.
Yeah. Yeah, very...
Hey, if it works, it works.
Very, very, very obvious stuff. And, but Valentina won't connect the dots until she sees that, and she'll rush out into the night to the beach to save Reginald and arrest Brad. So we'll have this nice moment where, comedic nice moment where she gets to the beach and Reginald is out on the surfboard. He's slipping. It's night. He's gonna fall. He's gonna get decapitated, and she'll, I don't know. Maybe she should throw like a shoe or something. It'll hit him, knock him over, and she'll.
I was gonna
fly,
say
he'll
like
fly through, and he'll catch her.
A kind of a lasso. Maybe. How about this? She looks around. She sees Reginald. He's out on the board. She doesn't have anything that she could throw, and then behind her, she hears a little bark. And she sees the dog.
The dog.
And she's like,
that's perfect.
Oh,
she
no.
Throws the dog. Yeah.
Picks up the dog, throws the dog at him.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, actually, that'd be great, too. And the dog will, like, knock him unconscious and beat the shit out of him. And then she'll, like, drag him to shore. Yeah. So it's like, he got saved, but he also got his ass kicked. So he didn't get decapitated.
Yeah, he's totally fucked up. He almost wishes he had been decapitated.
And I don't know, do you think that they should arrest the killer, or do you think the killer should try to escape on one of his surfboards and then slip and decapitate himself?
I think the killer should escape, right? He should attempt to escape on one of his boards. He's like, I got the driest, dullest board I own. And he's surfing out, and then a shark just eats him.
Yeah, just randomly.
Or like
the dog. The dog's
yeah.
still out there. The dog's still in the water.
Yeah.
And it kicks his ass.
And it pulls him down.
Yeah, and it yanks him down into the sea, and we just see the blood slowly coming up. No, and then the next episode we'll see like killer dog, like signs in the water that say like killer dog. Watch out, instead of like sharks.
Watch out.
Watch out for killer dog.
Violent Doberman. Beware of Doberman.
Yeah. Well, that Charlie, that's my idea for Crime Wave. It's a bit of a ridiculous show, but
I like it. I think it's fun.
I like those old like Airplane and Naked Gun and Top Secret movies where the comedy is just so. Everyone's so serious. No one's taking any but there's just ridiculous things happening all around them. It's like the circumstances are funny.
I'm a big fan.
Not the jokes. You know, I mean the jokes are funny, but that serious, dry, witty stuff, but also ridiculous.
You have to be serious about it, right? Like if the actors are like, haha, this is a comedy, right? Like you would get in a Friends, for example, or another comedy. It doesn't work. You have to have extra super serious actors doing serious things, and then just like ridiculous shit constantly happening and no one reacting to it. Yeah. I love that shit too. I'm a big fan. And
I do like the idea of Pamela Anderson doing like a success, a new, like it's a success, or what's the word I'm looking, like successor show to Baywatch is what I'm looking for. But it's just like a super serious comedy, like Naked Gun style, detective comedy. We came up with that idea as a joke after the last episode, but it stuck with me. I couldn't get rid of it.
That's how we make some of our episodes. The worst raisin in the world.
What was it actually? Was the reason?
Brains.
Worst reason.
Reason, the ugliest reason in the world, and you turned it into raisin. Yeah. And I'll never forgive you.
Hey, I mean, you turned The Time Is Always Now into like a nice, sweet mother-daughter journey. So, and that could have been the coolest sci-fi show of all time. So
it could have been, but I decided to make Henry Weird into a superhero for the coolest sci-fi show of all time.
Okay, yeah.
Great. I like that. I think that was fun. There are good gags, there are good jokes. It seems like it would be a show that's difficult to write because you would have to just keep being ridiculous and hilarious, you know?
Yeah, every little thing is I built the structure of it, and then I had to go back through and I was like, oh, where do I add like the funny bits? Because you still got to have at the heart of it like a detective thing, and it's got to be ridiculous. Whatever, like, you know, the surfboard decapitation, it's got to be a ridiculous way people are dying, and then you got to have like an actual some sort of logic to it, and then you got to add all the jokes.
And then all the little side pieces, all the dogs,
all the murderous dogs,
punching dogs.
I didn't realize how important when we started this pitch dogs would be to the ending and all of it.
Me? Neither.
I just want to see the bar scene where Hugh Grant punches a dog. I just think that'll be great.
I would love to see that.
Well, Hugh Grant flirting with Pamela Anderson and punching a dog. That's what I want to see. It's wild.
Because I'm imagining the dog, like, we would do it like a 70s comedy. So that we would throw the dog across a room with, like we would throw, like, a fake dog toy across a room and make, like, a ridiculous, like, sound. And then the dog comes back and it's like, all right, round 2, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know, when Pamela Anderson goes to pat her nose, the dog, like, Hugh Grant turns around, the dog's growling, and he's like, cracks his knuckles. He's like, you ready to go? Puts his fists up. Cut to outside, Hugh Grant gets thrown through the window, through the glass, and the dog barks. You know?
Yeah, just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, but I like that show a lot. I like Crime Wave. It wasn't what I was gonna go for, but I like it. You turned it into something good. I got the idea for Crime Wave from, you know, that GIF or GIF, however you say it, of Batman and Joker surfing.
Yeah,
that was.
What, were you gonna pitch a show where Batman and Joker surf? Is that what you wanted?
No, I was just gonna pitch a show. I was gonna pitch a show where people do crime and have surfboards, but you made it more than that. You made it funnier. So good on you, Jacob. And good on you, the audience. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I've been your host, Charles Lung. With me, as always, has been my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, orator, and podcasting associate, Jacob Gloth. If you like what you heard here and you want to hear more, please give us a like, a follow, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, tell your cat. And remember, we're going to be here next week. We're going to have a new TV show for you. The title of the show, what is it, Jake? What's the title of next week's show going to be, huh? Tell us.
Those
Tell us all.
that
Me
know...
for the first time, I don't know.
You already know. Those that know not. Which I said not as an N-O-T, but you've already joked to me that you might do not K-N-O-T. So... I'm interested to
those
see
who
what
know
you do.
not is about pirates. But I might not do that. I was thinking about making it a super serial show about alcoholics. Why? I don't know. Just cause. It's because I love chaos, Jacob.
You love to take my sci-fi titles
right.
and make a serious show, and it kills me every time.
I know it does. That's why I do it. All right. Thank you, everyone, and please have a good night.